Hello YouTube, hello McTow, hello Red Pill, this is Red Pill in the Wind. And I've made 10 of these videos, not including this one. It's called The Community is Done For. But this I'm going to tag Monasticus Holus, also known as Emperor Dion the Lion, in this one as well. Why? Because when two people share knowledge, it makes both parties, if not one of the parties, more knowledgeable. I was born in 1987. I'm 38 years old. I have lived through the collapse of I have lived through the collapse of the Soviet Union, many other and the conflicts of many other city-states in between. I remember I lived through the fall of the Berlin Wall when they said Mr. Gorbachev, when the Soviet Union collapsed. I lived through the Clinton era, the first Clinton era, which puts me I'm Unk status. But translation, I'm Unk status. And throughout this time in my life, of everything that I've seen, everything that I've been through, everything that I've observed, one thing always remains the same. The very people that stayed in those neighborhoods, that did not get out of many of the black neighborhoods, are on drugs. Comes around full circle. Everybody thought, oh man, everybody thought that this person was going to be the one to find. First things foremost, because what causes drug addicts? The lack of human connection. They've tried this. They did the study in mice. When there's connection, when there's interaction and connection, the character is the character at B is less likely to use drugs. When a person is alone, they're going to use drugs. Translation. We have been our brother's keepers, and many people in the black community have not been a very good keeper. Have not been a very good keeper, and you can blame it on the government. Okay. Crack in the 80s. Oh, it was planted in the black community, but you perpetuated it. You continued to perpetuate it, and because you perpetuated, it continued. Here's how you continue the problem. Because you keep dating these drug dealers. They call themselves a real ninja, but really, honestly, all you're doing is raising the next generation of drug dealers. This is why so many people say that 2/3 of black Americans aren't going to survive. The music you listen to, I'm a real one. But at the end of the day, at a cataclysmic event, can you hunt? Can you fish? Actually, let me go back in reverse. Can you separate meats? From the rest of the hide? Can you take the cuts? Can you organize the cuts in a rational organization? Can you smoke, dry, or preserve the meats? And either can you preserve the meats, and either by either the drying session, the smoke dry session, the salt sessions, the preserving in fats sessions. Can you put in, or many of the pickling and the pickling sessions? Let's go back further. Can you separate the hide from the meat without damaging the meat? Can you separate the organs from the meat that you're going to be eating without nicking the guts and spoiling the meat? Do you have the skills to do that? Now we're going to go back to one of the creatures alive. And this is the main reason. This is some of the main reasons why 2/3 of us aren't going to survive. Better yet, we'll start from the beginning. Because, like I said, because we're going to start from the beginning after I get this. Can you take down the game when it's in front of you? Can you track the game? So, because now we're at the beginning. We're gonna go from beginning to end now. We're gonna go from beginning to end now. When you're planning to hunt, this is a critical point. When you're planning to hunt and you have to worry about other scavengers and other soldiers from another country coming in to take over and win your hearts and minds and break your entire culture, are you going to pick the bow and arrow, which is quieter, just as effective, but it's quieter, or are you going to pick the gat, the blicky, the switch, potentially riddling the thing with bullet holes because you can't shoot worth a darn, and damaging the meat? Do you even know where to shoot to not damage the meat? You want to hit them right in the. There's a certain spot in a deer to where it doesn't damage the meat, which is further in the back, and it drops them like a rock, where you don't have to chase after it and track it down and draw more attention, which is the heart, which is right about the size of my head, if you scale it up. But that right there is why 2/3 aren't gonna survive. Because all y'all know how to do is just basically put the switch on and just spray and pray and miss every single shot, but the people that you're not intending to hit. Have you ever shot a bow and arrow? Heck, have you ever shot an atlatl? Oh, that's a word you never heard of. It's a word many of you never heard of. An atlatl. Look it up. Now, regarding the hunting part, you managed to somehow have a magical shot hit the deer, but can you separate the meat from the hide, from the guts and everything back and forwards? Do you know how to cook the deer? Do you know what to look for in parasites? that'll affect you, your health. Two-thirds of us, they keep saying two-thirds of us. I think a bit more. Y'all up here making fun of the educated lames. You're making fun of the educated lames, but whenever an educated lame has survived, until it's time to survive, then you need their help. But you'll glorify the drug dealers, the gangbangers, the people who actually, the criminals, the career criminals, the people who've been to jail, in and out of jail since 16. Better yet, my favorite, the jail husband women. Do you know your husband, your jail husband has been, may have been, you ain't the only tail he getting or given. Well, you're given. Well, he might be given tail. Who knows what goes on, and I don't plan on going. I don't plan on going to jail. I'm not built for it. That's why I do my best not to commit crimes. So you're going to sit here and tell me that you're going to pick the criminal over somebody who can enrich your life if you work with them. And the fact that y'all up here sharing the same dude and your STD rate is climbing higher than the cloaca of an eagle. Oh, what you know about that water? What you know about that water? Oh, because y'all been for sucking down freaking Kool-Aid and Hennessy. Just saying what it is. I'm just telling you what it is. You know what? Do you know why? Do you know why everybody else got compensated for traumas in the past? Why the Native Americans? Why the Jewish people? Why the Ashkenazi Jews? Why the Jewish people got paid by Germany? Why everybody, the Japanese Americans, got compensation, and why we will never see it until most of us are gone and in the ground. It's because they can put the fear of God in governments, because they built before and they can do it again. We don't build. Enough. We don't build enough to be seen as something to be terrified of. We don't build enough to be something that's seen as something that maybe we should pay these people back. And we don't have the ability to take our money elsewhere. Because if we did, I guarantee you, there'd be some reparations being paid. Just saying. Build a few businesses. Save some money. Get enough businesses, enough trade going. Keep money flowing in your neighborhoods. And have money outside the country. Watch. The same tax code the politicians use and the same corporation the corporations use is the same tax code that we're under. Follow the money. It's just what it is. You know why? Do you know why you don't? It's not a $1.2 billion. It's like maybe like it's not $2 billion. It's probably about half that or something to that nature. Capital gains tax. You pay the capital gains tax, you put it in and put the rest in a trust or some sort of investment fund. And have an accountant on salary. Oh, but wait, what does anybody know about that? Nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about building. Nobody wants to talk about money. We just all we want to talk about is, oh man, that girl got a fat tail, got a fat back, got a fat behind. I'd like to smash that. But yet, 2/3 of us ain't gonna make it. And I've literally given you the reason why 2/3 of us ain't gonna make it. I'm gonna drop another bomb on you. On your tail chasing criminals. You ever heard of the divestment community? The divestment community is a bunch of bitter black women mad because the men that they picked was trash and beat the crap out of them. The black men that they picked was trash, beat the crap out of them, or did something to them. Or basically they were told not to date a black man. Or mad because they didn't get the black man that they wanted. So they decided to go to the Brads. And literally tried to beg Brads to end my life. Or to end the lives of me. That's your black queen there, sweetie. Two-thirds of us ain't gonna make it. 2/3 of us ain't gonna make it. To be honest with you, I'm more inclined to believe it's more. Five sixes ain't gonna make it. 5/6 of us ain't gonna make it. You know. I'm just saying what it is, what I think. I hope I'm wrong. I pray that I'm wrong. I pray that I'm crazy, but the possibility is that if I'm not, got a problem there. The community is done for. It's going to be done for if you don't straighten up and fly right. We've been trying to tell you. I mean, a lot of my dad has been trying to tell people for years before he died. I'm on social media. I'm trying to warn you, but then again, heck, nobody's going to listen to me. Nobody ever listens. In fact, a lot of y'all are now just catching up. To where I was 5 years ago. To my analysis 5 years ago. A lot of y'all are just waking up and realizing that the stuff has happened, that there's the possibility of it happening when it actually happens. I predicted for the ladies that a whole bunch of men there's gonna be a lot of men where they're gonna have a hard time to getting them to do anything for them. And what happened? A lot of men stopped doing it for them. It's gonna be a lot of kids dropping out of windows that are not gonna be caught. It's gonna be they're gonna start walking away from kids that are slipping out of windows. They're gonna look up and say, "Nope, going the other way." But these are the women that you created this problem. And a lot of people are gonna be sick of going to freaking court, because your ignorant child couldn't find a job. I mean, even if it's just a simple minimum wage job, it's something. But y'all ladies charge your children too much. You don't allow them to build a savings account. You don't allow them to build savings. That's the problem. That's your problem. That's the number one problem. You don't allow them. You don't allow them to build savings. Oh, savings? We can't have that. I need all your money. I need to pay these bills. Like the kid can't even pay the bills. Where were you at 18 years old? I know where I was. I was broke. At 18. I was broke at 18. I remember the Jeep Wrangler I had coming out the military. The rear drive shaft fell off, and I was, thank God for four-wheel drive. The front bearings the front sealed bearings were falling apart, was shot. But I needed to get to work. I needed to get to and from work. And a hose that regularly came out. Vacuum hose. Thank God for Jeeps for the 4.0 for the inline 4.0's inline 6. Actually the 5.0. But thank God for the 5.0's inline 6. And a 5-speed manual transmission. I swear by that engine and that transmission. But y'all up here destroying your kids. They can't build a savings. They're broke. But yet, I make these videos to address the issues, to address the problems. But y'all don't want to listen to me. That being said, this is the Communitas Done for 11. We'll put it in abbreviations. Red Pill in the Wind signing off.